Right. After these generous words of introduction, one cannot say much. It's a great honor to be in this panel with Her Excellency the Minister, my good friend Elena Panova, um, Ambassador Hisham Ramadan, Badr, Hisham Badr, uh, and Hani Farahat, my good friend and colleague. Ambassador Hisham did a great job. Well, we joke a lot. That's why we don't get much formal. It's very hard to control one's self when Ambassador Badr is next to him. But he's really indeed a formidable power of work. He managed to change himself from swimming from the oceans to the Egyptian river and canals nicely. And for that, I commend his ability. And I'm not really promoting his qualities more. We don't like him to be hijacked by any big, powerful institution. I see some leaders, financiers in the room. We need him for the continuity of this project under the leadership of Dr. Halas Saeed and the ministers involved with us on this. So I will not repeat what you heard. We are all very pleased with the initiative, with the collaboration between the ministers and the ministries. It's a partnership. It's a case of formidable collaboration. It managed to have as well competition at the same time and unleashed many potential opportunities for finance and investment. So very briefly, what one expect for the future of this initiative, especially after these 6 examples and the 6 categories across governors gave us a few examples of what's happening. I'm encouraging you to have a look at the website and the list of the projects. If you have time, please visit the projects in the green zone for more information. But as mentioned by the Honorable Minister, we only had few weeks and months to prepare, and despite that, we got more than 6,200 applications and proposals. And each one of them is providing a very relevant answer to a question that came from a fellow villager from Kafr Shukr, Al-Qaliubiyya. What's in it for us? This is the question that was answered by the minister, emphasized by Ambassador Badr earlier, that people had all the right to know why their country is spending this effort in hosting this big event, especially that some recent updates before this conference, they are telling us that the extent of public awareness globally is around 50%. 50% of those who are around the world are aware of the problem of climate change and its impact. To be exact, 51%, 49% have doubts. When it comes to our region, Arab and African region, I refer to some good work by our good friend, top statistician, Maged Osman, through Basira, telling us that the awareness is around 35%, improving from 30% just a couple of months ago. With this campaign now, with the involvement, with the relevance of the ideas to the day-to-day kind of language that we should be using, yes, the sophisticated elite and the professionals need to talk in their own way about mitigation, adaptation, loss and damage, legal and financial requirements, some complicated science behind each, and of course finance and finance innovation. But it happened today when we talk about these projects as answers to energy, water management, rationing of consumption, waste management, and I'm happy to see that many of the projects are as follows. 46% are in recycling. And when I was in Geneva, one expert in the field said, do you know where is the biggest ever mining opportunity in the world? Everybody said some countries in South Africa, like in Africa, like South Africa or DRC, or some places in Asia. But it's basically waste and waste management. This is basically where we can really get what we need, as we have seen it in the case of Alexandria and many other cases that have been winning, 46 of them. Energy solutions, 28. Combating pollution, 7. Adaptation in different categories, 28. Decreasing emissions, some of them with very sophisticated techniques, 8. 29 in biodiversity, and 16 in cross-cutting areas. So I'm happy as well that in the discussions today we heard about early warning system, transport, and this is a solutions day. So every project of these is recognizing a problem at the community and providing a solution. Very practical. So to my fellow villager from my neighborhood, when he's asking me this question, I will have more than 6,200 answers to them. With the energy and the leadership of the minister, the prime minister, for a project that won the recognition of the president and his auspices is covering it, I think the 6,200 this year, at least, let's be modest, should be multiplied by a factor of 10, okay, at least. So we'll see how BONCMIS can do that, how the UN can do that. So this is the first thing, continuity with multiples. The second one, with my good friend and sister Elena Panova, we cannot have the UN without asking them a question, especially after the recognition of this important initiative by DSG Amina Mohammed in the presence of our president. So how can we take the UN existent initiatives and linking them to some work with the UN system, including the work that you told me about, including UN Habitat, UNEP, and others, to get that regional and global. The third could perhaps go back to the investment opportunities and exports. We know that there is a new council for investment that had been established. I think this is a candidate for the background of information in drawing an investment map for Egypt based on the most critical areas of work: sustainability, green, and digital transformation, smart. As you can see, we use very simple language to encourage more and more coming to this initiative. Having said that, I'm very proud with every member of the team, including, of course, the ministers from the Ministries of Planning, Environment, CIT, Local Development, and many other line ministries. I'm happy with the partnership with many local entities and the international organizations. But with what we see, it's about continuity, scaling up, and sharing this experiment to the world at large. One final announcement, if I may, in the presence of the minister, given that the Prime Minister decided that this is going to be an annual event of activities. Yes, last time, or the current time when we did it, we're only squeezed, but now it's an early, not an early warning, but an early announcement that this is going to happen again this year. The winners will be with us, inshallah, in Dubai. We already spoke to my good friends from Dubai on the non-state actors. So the 18 winners and others will be invited to be with us in the Emirates. So this is another way of getting this initiative beyond our boundaries. And this is the way that Egypt and the Egyptians normally behave. If you see something of benefit, we extend it beyond ourselves, as it happened in the very origin of this area of work, when we considered what is good for Kafr Shukr is good for Egypt, and what's good for Egypt is good for the rest of the world. Thank you.